challenges with the internet, but we are going to talk slow, but we're going to go fast. So go ahead, Minna, keep sharing.
Yeah, so wherever you're tying in from, welcome. Do know that we are here to share
Challenges with the internet.
that we're here to share with you a technology that is changing a lot of people's lives, and also the opportunity behind that. Now, some of you may say, you know what, I'm just interested in the technology, what it can do for me and for my family and loved ones. And some of you are saying, well, I'm interested in the opportunity as well. Well, you know what, you can stay on and you can take as much information as you want or as little information as you want, but do get back with the person that invited you, okay? The wonderful thing is we know that what we're sharing with you actually works, because we have heard from a lot of our friends and family, and we personally have experienced the results from that. So we're going to take it away because we don't want to waste anybody's time. We want to keep it under the hour and get this done.
And so one thing we always recommend, again, we're going to be talking about a couple different packages and how to get this product, but the X39 is what we're talking about. So for me personally, back basically in 2016, I had a car accident that damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. I had a knee injury that affected my right hip, that literally, it was just crazy, all these things that started happening in my body. So I had 5 areas of issues, and my friend told me about this amazing little patch. The technology changed my life. So 3 days later, no issues with my knee, my hip, my shoulder, my neck, my back. I'm like, what is this? How does this work? And literally everything since then's changed. For 2 hours, I researched it and said, this is real. Wow, this is real. This is amazing. And so now we get business all over the world, 37 countries around the world, and God's blessed us abundantly. We don't even have to work a job anymore. So we're financially independent. So the biggest part that we talk to people about is that really we want you to use the technology, but if you're open to actually earning extra money, we'll talk more about that in a little bit, then you're at the right place at the right time. So we're super excited. So we're going to start sharing a couple different things, because the very first thing that we did is when we took a look at this business, specifically, we looked at it from a standpoint of what can we do to share this with others from a business standpoint. Because that thing that we started researching, we sort of researched the company, all the stuff they told us about. And so what this really does, and I don't know why people are calling me now. Don't call me. Hopefully it's not the internet. So anyway. So part to this is that, you know, we tell people that what this does is elevates copper peptides in your body, activates stem cells, and regenerates your body. And we're going to talk more about that. The very first thing that we found out about was about David Schmidt, who's the founder and CEO, inventor of X39. We've met him personally many times. He was actually at our convention this past weekend. Unbelievable what's going on. I mean, phenomenal stuff. He's got over 200 patents, scientists and inventors specializing in age reversing. And in 2008, he changed his focus from working with athletes in the Navy SEALs specifically to say, I want to work with stem cell technology to basically help people do that. And this one product took 10 years, $4.5 million worth of research and development to come out with this one product. And it's been a game changer. And so when I talked to my wife about it, she was very skeptical, but then she saw the patent, which was pretty huge.
So my background is law, and I'm a lawyer by profession, and I didn't want anything to do with this, because how on earth is a little patch going to change anything for anybody? And so after Greg's, you know, he was using it already. He decided to move forward with it, and he had a great result. And so I thought, well, let me just take a look at this website. And you know, I didn't want to miss anything. People were experiencing great things, like why not me? So I found out it's patented, and you can actually go and take a look at the website. Thisisit.info.com, and the patent is actually on that website, so you can read it if you want to. It's registered in July of 2020, and this particular paragraph, which is highlighted, if you just take a look at that, it says embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, which is a big one, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, improved wound healing. I was like, okay, well, I have FOMO, which is fear of missing out, and I don't want to miss out on anything. So I decided, oh my goodness, I'm gonna start patching as well.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So how the activation patch really works and why this technology specifically is because what happens as we age, we have less and less stem cell activity. So what happens when you start growing up, you have all this activity that's happening in your body. Obviously, babies grow and grow and grow because of the cellular activation of their body. But by the time you're 30, you have half the stem cell activity that you had when you're younger. by the time you're 60, 5 to 10% maybe. So we found that out. It was a game changer for me personally, because I'm now turning 55 next month, and I feel like I'm in my 30s slipping into my 20s. A couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I felt like I was in my 60s going into my 70s, and that's a fact. And Meadow can tell you more about that, because the moaning and groaning pain I was in every day, no one should live that way. And now we're helping people to step out of that, which is pretty awesome.
So how does X39 work? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. It's patented nanocrystal technology. It reflects light off of our own body and the heat to activate it. It's not transdermal, no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants in the patch, and it's not invasive. So it's not putting anything into your body. You know, LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition.
Yeah, so the way that people might relate to it is that we live in the sunshine state. So when the sun hits our skin, it's our biggest organ, and the sunlight rays from the sun actually interact with our body and elevate things in our body, like vitamin D, right? So what happens is that basically when the sun's pushing out, it's pushing out a frequency of light that hits our skin. It's not pushing out vitamin D. Well, the same way we emit light. If I put on night vision goggles, we literally glow in the dark. So the light that we emit is now reflected. It hits the patch, reflects back into our body. And when it reflects back into our body, it activates and stimulates the same things, which is pretty amazing. Specifically the GHK copper peptides that activate our stem cells. So it's a game changer.
So the benefits of X39, this really got me excited, because when I looked at this, I thought, my goodness, I'm experiencing almost actually everything on here. Yeah. Increased strength, reduced inflammation, which is really big for a lot of people, in fact, everybody. Increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity, also a very big one. Restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep, and I think we have 1 or 2 new people on here, but I want to say, you know, for me, I was sleep deprived for many, many years. Yeah. And I just thought that's just the way I'm going to have to live my life, you know, because I'm in a career where I worry a lot, okay? And so I don't sleep because my mind races all the time. And I didn't put the patch on for that reason. I wore it because I wanted to reduce inflammation. But when I had that first night's most amazing sleep, so deep, so rested, I was like, there's something about this. I hadn't slept like that in a long, long time. And so since September 2022, every night, my head on the pillow, doesn't matter where I'm at, because I couldn't even sleep on planes or sleep in hotel rooms. And now I'm able to do that, which is most amazing. Improved skin appearance is also something that people are seeing. And, you know, David talks about achieving optimal health, which is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being.
Yeah, and we could have pages and pages and pages of all the different benefits and everything else, but we're just going to basically highlight a few today.
So this is a topography map, and David wanted to show what inflammation in the brain looks like. And he asked the 77-year-old participant to wear the X39 consistently at the, you know, behind her neck on the C7. And session 1, he takes a scan of her brain, and that's what it looks like. A lot of red, a lot of orange, bright colors. That shows inflammation in the brain, lack of brain coherence. Then she starts to put the patch on, and session 1 is taken, you know, the first day she wears prior to wearing the patch, and then she starts to put the patch on. Session 2 is 3 weeks, you know, consistently wearing the patch every day, day in, day out, staying hydrated. She didn't change her diet. She didn't add additional supplements to her diet. She didn't exercise, you know, those things. She just, you know, the only thing she changed was wearing the patch. Yeah. So you see all those bright colors are no longer there, meaning no more inflammation, and definitely improved brain coherence. Session 3, only 6 weeks later, a complete turnaround, better brain coherence, because even those blues and greens are evenly distributed in that scan. And so David reiterates, he actually explains all of this in a video, and he says, you know, if he had scanned other organs in her body, so it's not just the brain that looks like that, all the other organs would have looked like that. Yeah,
it's crazy. So when I saw this scan the first time, I'm like, I'm going to patch all my friends on their forehead. No, because I had long COVID, or where they want to call that. I basically had brain fog for a long time, and several weeks later, it was gone. So some things we look at is some of the long-term studies that are on here. Once again, we could list dozens and if not hundreds of these different studies that they've done. So the long-term results you can find on thisisit.info.com is the website. You can find all the information. But the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset to a healthier, younger state. To me, I don't still understand that. All I know is your body goes into a reboot. So the same thing, like my phone was locking up earlier. So what I do, I rebooted my phone. We did the same thing for my wife's computer earlier today. So again, it's all these little things that happen. But imagine your body going into a reboot. So that's what happens when we reset genes. Now, what's interesting about this is that really we've had people talk about resveratrol, which is found in red wine. That's like a hero product, and all these other supplements that they go, we got resveratrol. Well, that resets 2 genes. This resets 4,000. A little bit of difference. That's why people go, wow, I just feel amazing. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. Men have showed that. Within 3 months, get this, your collagen levels increased 200, 300, 400%. I mean, it's amazing what happens. So it's all these different things about your hair, your skin, your nails. You think that's one thing. Your whole body's made of collagen and everything else, your eyes, everything else. So within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. This is massive. And so these are all things that make a big difference. So really what David states, it's pretty bold. He said, this is not anti-aging, it's age reversing. That's a very bold statement, but he can prove it scientifically. And when you start using this, you'll notice it in yourself also.
So how do we wear the patch? Pretty simple. And the graphics actually showed the patch behind the neck on the C7 or underneath the belly button. But we even heard David talk about this, this weekend, say that you can put the patch anywhere because the patch is systemic. That's how it works. So it goes, what happens is it goes to fix wherever the repair is needed, okay? So you wear it for 12 hours on and you take it off and rest and repair for 12 hours. So when you're sleeping, you want to take that patch off. If you're working at night, put that patch on while your night shift, and then take it off when you go to bed. You throw the patch away, you put a new one on. Drinking lots of good water.
This is mineral water. So.
Staying hydrated. Add additional electrolytes to your water if you need to, because that's going to help you as well.
Yeah, that's why I've got electrolytes in my water, because it's awesome the difference that it makes. So we do know this product is very simple to use. It's simple to explain because, again, we just point people to the website. It's very sophisticated. It took 10 years to develop, but the testimonies are life-changing. And so we got actually 3 different people that are actually in the other room here that we got a chance to talk to them about their testimonies, and they're going to share today that we want them to hear.
Yeah, they were with us. They were with us at convention this weekend. They're really, really fired up, and we started to hear all these amazing testimonies, and we thought, my goodness, they have to share with everybody.
Yeah, so they're on Robert's Annette's team, so I don't know how we're going to run this, but I think they got one computer over there. So Annette, if you wanted to, whoever's going to go first, each of you take like a minute and a half, 2 minutes maximum. We'd like to hear a little bit more about what you're doing. So whoever's going first, please jump on and share how this product has changed your life.
Okay, I'll let Ivana start.
Perfect.
Hey, everybody. At age 59, I had 3 wrecks and 4 different surgeries. So you can imagine the pain and the inflammation that I had in my body, and my energy level was just shot. I mean, my body was always, fighting pain and fatigue. So the way I compensated was I took a nap every day, and I just thought, this is my life. I mean, 2.5 hours every day I had to just sleep just to be like somewhat normal. If I didn't take a nap, I would be in tears by 7 o'clock in the evening. And this was my life. Okay. So after about a week to 10 days of wearing the patch, I noticed I would lay down, but I wouldn't go to sleep. And I just thought, wow, okay, I just have too much energy to go to sleep. Now I'm 15 months in, and I am no longer craving and needing the high level medical massage and sports massage, deep tissue therapy that I had to get just to survive. I mean, the pain is gone now. I know I'm 15 months in, but this is something that I thought that I was just going to live with that pain for the rest of my life. And then something I never even thought was possible. Ladies, we love our feet, we love our shoes. And for 10 years, I had a toenail that would split. And it was just really irritating. I mean, I couldn't cut it short enough to keep it from splitting. And I had tried everything for 10 years, probably more like 12 years. And just recently I looked down and I'm like, oh my God, my toenail is totally grown out, like grown out. And guys, there's just a white line where the split used to be. I'm so excited. I mean, I'm like so excited. So that's just a bonus. All right, who's next? Tim's gonna come sit. Oh, here it comes.
Hi, everybody. Tim Duncan here. Been on the patch for a year in November. A lot of arthritis in my hands, my shoulders, due to previous work experience. Uh, so I measure a lot of things by how much ibuprofen I do not take anymore. And I'm a golfer, which my hands were important to be able to grip a golf club, so I had to use extra thick grips. But now, after 11 months almost, I don't need the extra grips anymore. I got a lot more range of motion through my shoulders of being able to swing the club a lot better. And I'm looking forward to the results I'm going to get from removing my neuropathy and a few other things like that. So it's exciting, guys. Hope this helps you out. Have a great day.
Then we got Dr. Randy. Here he's coming.
Hi, I'm Dr. Randy Brodnick. I'm an OBGYN physician. I've been in practice for 32 years. I had a career change and I started working as a family physician. And when I started working as a family physician, I just realized there was so many people on so much medicine that I really couldn't help them. So I couldn't help myself because I was suffering from ADHD, depression, anxiety, PTSD. I also got a diagnosis of leukemia. And then I went to this federally qualified healthcare clinic and I couldn't help anybody. So I started praying. I said, God, you got to bring me something that's non-invasive to change people's lives. And that's when Robert and Annette Arsenal reached out to me. She's a functional medicine coach. And they talked to me about the X39. I said, if the X39 does half of what it says, I'm all in. And so 12 days into this, I felt like I got a miracle. I had more energy, more mental clarity, more focus, more strength, sleeping better. I said, I'm in. This is 100%. And from then, I just weaned off medicine. Every week, I came off different medicine. And currently, right now, I'm on no medicine whatsoever. Also, not besides that, I've gone through a treatment for leukemia. And my white count, my hemoglobin, if you're familiar with those, just overall blood tests are completely 100% normal. So I believe I'm very close to getting a cure. I believe this is going to completely 100% change my life. I will never stop the X39. This is amazing technology. What do you lose? Just try it. It works 100%. Have a great day.
Wow. 3 amazing testimonials. That is absolutely fantastic.
And from a doctor.
Yes, it's
Did
amazing.
you hear that?
Yes. Yeah. And that's what's interesting is we hear people all the time talking about specifics, things like that. And then as a doctor says, I can't help this person. He said, I put my hands up and I can't help him. I can't help him. Now you can. So it's pretty simple. The patch is very, very simple. Once again, it comes in a sieve that you pull it out. It's got 30 patches in here and you just peel and stick. It's very, very simple. I realized I didn't put mine on earlier. So I was already at 9 o'clock and we've been pretty busy making phone calls. So it's pretty simple. You can stick it anywhere. I'll stick it right here just to show you. It's so easy. That's it. Boom. Done. Keep moving forward and go on with your day. So that's the exciting part about this. And we could talk on and on and on, about the technology, talk about, what this is. And I'm not going to go through all the different testimonials, but we have like tons of testimonials that we could share explaining all the different stuff. But we are just going to continue to tell you where to get the information because again, the part that we want to share is that this really is simple to explain, and really it is peel, patch, stick, and then drink lots of good, specifically electrolyte water or mineral water. Just regular water, spring water is good. I went through this again. I don't want to share this. Anyway, I went to the wrong place. Sorry, guys. So boom, there we go. So now how do we get to this information? thisisit.info.com. That's where you want to go to get the information. That's it's specifically an informational site. You can't buy anything there, can't do anything else, and you can share this with anybody. So we do tell people, I recommend watching the first few videos. They just came out with a brand new video. I don't know if it's on there yet. They said they're going to put it on today. It's going to be the very first video explaining this. It's like a 3-minute video that slowly people can understand how this kind of works, and then watch the other couple minute videos. But the 4th video down is from Dr. Leland Stillman, who's actually a specialist in light therapy. He's an expert in light therapy. He talks about why this is working. At first, it's like, what's this little tiny patch going to do? But then he realizes that this is light therapy that basically over a long period of time, 12 hours a day, with the other stuff was basically the red light bed therapy and stuff like that. It's very intense therapy for a short period of time, 10, 15, 20 minutes. So he said, I wonder if it works, in conjunction with that. He was blown away. Watch the 4th video. It's definitely worth watching. So again, we'll talk about the company.
Yeah, so when we got started with the X39, we didn't even know that this company, LifeWave, existed. And at the time, it was a 20-year-old company, and open in over 80 countries now. And they've grown with the introduction. When I spoke about the patent, I mentioned that that patent was registered in July of 2020. The company was sitting at revenue their revenue was sitting at 20 million US, okay? They introduced the X39, and since the introduction of the X39, we have closed over 600 million
Last year.
US in 2024. So that's growth of over 580 million US in 4 years. Now, what changed? They introduced X39, and people were using it, experiencing it, and sharing it, and cannot stop sharing it, and predicted to close at over $1 billion US this year. And we heard we're well on our track to doing that. The other thing I love about the X39 and the product that we're sharing is that it's not a Me Too product. And by that I mean skincare, hair care, supplements, weight loss products, and all those wonderful products that people are buying out there. But why would we buy from the small business owner if we can go and get it off the shelf at CVS or Dis-Chem? Sometimes there's just too much out there, and people need to make a choice, and it's difficult to make a choice. So the thing we love about this is we alone have the X39. It's exclusive to us.
Yep.
So there's exclusivity. And when we're sharing this with people, we're not hearing from them, oh my goodness, my friend has the same product, or we have something. We're hearing, they're sitting closer, they're sitting up, their eyes get wide, and they want to know, oh my goodness, where do I get it? How soon can I get it? Where do I put the order in? And we're able to tell them,
Yeah.
we can help you get it in your hands.
Absolutely. And so what's great about this too is the company itself is in momentum like nothing else. So the number one momentum ranked network in the entire world, one of the fastest growing companies in the world. And it's due to this couple, Steve and Gina Merritt. We were just with them this past weekend. We were actually helped co-host Meredith Burkett, who's the president, spent time obviously with them. And then so David Schmidt actually spoke. He flew in specifically to speak and then flew right back out. So we didn't get a chance to really speak with him. We'll get to see him in a few months, but it's pretty interesting. All the things that are going on. Steve and Gina have been very successful in this industry for decades. I mean, like 30 plus years. So the biggest thing is they actually made a lot of money. And I'll put it this way. Think about people who are very, very rich. They actually made that in another company, but the company actually shifted because they're selling what they call acai juice. And it's not patented. So now you can buy it in any store, anywhere else. So the company shifted to a weight loss company. They're like going, no, this is not what we want to do. It's not exclusivity. They say, you look like you could lose some weight. They go, this is not what we want to do. So for a year, they prayed for the right company, the right compensation plan, the right company leadership. And they prayed for basically, a product that was literally going to change people's lives. They said, there's so many other scams that are out there. They said, no, we want a real product that's got science behind it. And literally they prayed for God's favor. And when Steve had all these challenges, he had 13 different surgeries because he was a professional barefoot water skier, had all kinds of broken everything over his life. And basically within a week, his pain was gone. His wife's like, this is it. This is what we've been praying for. The name of our team is This Is It Team. So that's the reason why This Is It Info, This Is It Team, and everything else. And it's very, very, very powerful. So we want to talk to you a little bit right now and shift a little bit about why you might be interested in developing, a business or developing something like this. And we work with a lot of very successful business owners, but they're putting 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week in their company. And they go, I can't take on another company because they think they got to put in that much time. This is really a part-time business on the side, but can accrue huge income. So for us, the number one thing on here is family. We love spending time with our family. We love spending time, with her family in South Africa. We've been there multiple times over the past couple of years, but be able to spend time with our family is huge. Well, the number one word for me was freedom. Freedom for me was very important because I was working a job that I couldn't stand. The company that I worked for went from a mentorship management to tormentorship management. The only thing I can explain is if you're familiar with a CRM database called Salesforce, they implemented that within the last couple of years. I started working with them, and they became micromanaging to the extreme. So if you know people that are under tons of stress at the working house, That was me. It was not good anymore, and I wanted out. So the help of my wife, help of God, because he's the one that did it, the help of our Savior. So again, with the help of my wife, the help of our team, Lily within 14 months was able to replace my 6-figure income. Several months later, fired my job, literally fired my job. I didn't get fired, I fired them, and Lily walked in the land of freedom. Since then, we've quadrupled our income. We now got business in 37 countries, basically 7,000 people on our team. And so when we talk to people about this opportunity, it's real. Freedom is real. So you look at these other things. Once again, if you like the idea of travel, if you like the idea of better health, less debt, zero debt, we can go on and on, but you want to talk to the person that invited you to this meeting today and tell them what your dreams are, what your goals are, what is it that you want to accomplish, because that's for us. We're a full-time husband and wife, which is pretty awesome, and we get to travel around the world and do what we want to do when we want to do it. If you like that idea, we can help you do it. For other people, it might be just an extra $1,000 a month. If we can help you make $1,000 a month, that would be great. What about $1,000 a week? How about $1,000 a day? You pick the number, we can help you do it, which is great. So the cool thing about it is that what we do is we tell people there's a form, there's an application to get started with the product, and we get to everybody at wholesale. I always tell people, would you rather pay retail or get it at wholesale? I still have had nobody say, yeah, I want to pay retail. No, everybody's like, oh, I want wholesale. I've had a few people say, what's wholesale? I'm like, that's a cheaper price. So what we do is we have 3 different wholesale packages. The very first wholesale package is basically what's called the core, which you get 3 sleeves, basically for now less than $100 a sleeve. The retail is normally $150 for a sleeve. And honestly, they could sell it for $299 all day long, and people would buy it all day long. It's that good of a product. But David Schmidt made the statement. He goes, no, we're going to make this available to everyone. So for less than $100 a sleeve, this is for people who just want to try the product. So what happens now is if people want to build a business, we recommend the advanced or the premium, because you want to have extra sleeves that you can lend to people. Now, we don't give people sleeves. We don't give people patches or patching up patches. Steve and Gina talked to us and said, Greg and Menno, what we would recommend is that you basically, and someone who wants to get started, they fill out the form, and basically we put it in the system. Now we'll lend them one of our sleeves. So now they have one of our sleeves, and basically when their product comes in, they'll just give us one back. We call it place and replace. Place and replace. So we bought the premium pack, the biggest pack. We had 20 sleeves. And so again, we didn't need 20 sleeves. We needed one for her, one for me each month, right? But what happened was that now we could place and replace. Well, it's $1,750. Some people think that's a lot. I'm like, look at other traditional businesses, what the expenses are for that. And you're just getting product. It's not like even a $10,000 buy-in. It's just, you just buy product. We made that money back in 2.5 weeks. How do we do that? We just start talking to people and place and replace, place and replace, place and replace. And literally the first month we made almost $3,000. Now, we can't make any guarantees for you. You might make a lot more than that the first month. You might make nothing the first month. It depends on your ambition and your ability to want to do something. But how we made that money back is that we signed up several premiums. And when you sign up premiums, you make $405 from each person you sign up from a premium. It's called a product introduction bonus. It's a one-time bonus. When in advance, you make $75, and the core you get $35. So, whoops. So with this, what's great is that from a business standpoint, we some people premiums, several advanced, several cores, and we made our money back. The great part about this is just the first way out of 4 ways we make money. The other way is basically another way is make money. So you can sell wholesale, buy at wholesale, sell at retail. We really don't do that. So the 3 main ways of making money is this one here. This is number 1, first way you make money right away. But then the residuals start kicking in. How do the residuals kick in? What happens is that you actually start making money by actually helping build teams of people. And I've had people go, I love that idea. I love the idea that I don't have to do all the effort myself. Because imagine, I'll just use an example. Imagine that if you put in, I'll say 10 hours a week. So you're someone who's ambitious, you can put in 1 hour a week. But let's say you put in 10 hours a week towards this business because you want to build a big business, but then you had 4 other people do the exact same thing. Now what happens is this person puts in 10 hours, this person puts in 10 hours, this person puts in 10, this person. Now you got 40 hours plus yourself. You got 50 hours a week working for you. The crazy part is this person's going to put in 4 people. This person's going to put in 4. So now you're going to have 40, 80, 60, what is that? 120, 160 hours working for you. How many hours are you putting in? 10. Well, we'll take it to the next level. Imagine having 7,000 people on your team. And even if they don't put in 1 hour a day or 1 hour, 1 hour a week, you can understand the kind of hours that go into our business. We have people all over the world building this business, and we get a small piece of that, which is amazing. But it's as simple as just bringing in 4. So who are 2 people you love on the right? Who are 2 people you love on the left? Could be a brother and a sister. Could be a neighbor and a friend, right? By doing this, you can make up to $1,500 a week here. Now what happens is you'll find someone who wants to be a manager here, another one becomes a manager. Now you become a director, you can go 2,500. Now you can earn all the way up to $25,000 a week with just this really second way of making money. So what happens here is when you hit manager, you make 1,500. When you have 2 managers, you can make up to 2,500. It doesn't start there. It starts growing and growing and growing and growing. The one part that I do know is once you hit senior director, almost every single senior director we have that we teach what to do, how to do it, making at least $1,000 a week. If you like the idea of making $1,000 a week, we would help you go senior director and above and beyond that. Now we're talking residual component, not just the upfront money. We're talking residual ongoing. Then we hit executive director. This is a 6-figure residual income from our standpoint. 6 weeks later, hit presidential. 6 weeks, that's called hyper momentum. And then literally last year, we hit the senior presidential director level, and our business is exploding all over the world. We would love to help you do the exact same thing. Now we're not making $25,000 a week. It's capped there. Not a bad cap, but we have people on our team that are making a lot more than that. How are they making more than that? And this is one that I got really excited about, Meta got excited about.
Yeah, so the exciting thing is that we have an unlimited income potential here. And, you know, when you hear of people making $100,000 a week, it's like, how on earth does that happen? Well, you know, when
Within
they
3 years.
when they start maxing out, like, you know, the binary plan or the binary components, they start maxing out at $25,000 a week, and it's your first generation. Like Greg and I put Annette in, and Annette, for example, would be like our first generation. Annette and Robert max out at 25,000. We're going to make 25% off of that first generation. That's $6,250. Now, if they're doing that on a weekly basis, that's every single week.
Yeah.
So
Just one person.
And the corporation doesn't take that out of their check. It's actually matching their check. So we get our portion, and they'll keep their $25,000 max on their binary. Then Annette and Robert speak to Awana, and Awana actually starts to max out at 25,000. She would be second generation to us, first generation to Robert and Annette, and we're making $5,000 on a weekly basis. So if you add all of that up, and say you had like 200 people on a second generation and 100 people on a first generation, you get paid off of every single person in your first, every single person in your second generation. Then we also get paid on the third generation. So Awana then goes and speaks to Tim, and Tim gets signed up, and he would be third generation to us, first generation to Awana, second generation to Robert. So that's how it goes. And we get paid either 25%, 20% or 20% off of first, second, and third generations, no matter how far down, because, you know, Greg showed you the 2 legs. You had a left leg and a right leg. All you do is you focus on putting people on that left leg and on the right leg, you know, and you keep going that way. And no matter, even if you're first generation, you have a person first generation who's number 68, like Andy Hosier on Ken's leg, Ken is getting 25% off of Andy Hosier, and he's the 68th person on that leg. So it's just absolutely amazing, you know. And when you have people in South Africa, we love our partners in South Africa, we love our partners in Europe and in Australia, when we have them busy working while we are sleeping, we're excited. You know, Mike Hernandez, and some of you know who he is, he says they keep sleeping and they're smiling and they keep sleeping longer and their smile's getting bigger because they have all these people all over the world that are adding to their business, and it's blessing them, you know, Mike and C, and the person who's benefiting from it. So this is a win-win business. Nobody fails at it unless you make a decision not to do anything.
Success is a decision. So when you make a decision, say, I'm building this, I'm going to help people, things start happening. And it doesn't matter if the person's making $100 a month, you make 25. If they're making 1,000, you make 250. As soon as they make 10,000, you're making 2,500 per week. So you understand how things can grow, and it's exciting.
And the blessing is, it's great. Money is good because it gives you options.
It's really,
it gives you options, and also, you know, for us, we love to bless a lot of people, ministries and things like that. And you know what? It's nice to be able to just give without looking at your bank account, you know? And so that's the blessing of all of this, you know. I mean, you might have a need for a new car. You might have to fix a geyser or call the plumber. And, you know, the stress of, do I have? And then you leave that bathroom sink blocked because you just don't have enough to pay the plumber, you know. So this is a blessing because it just takes off that scarcity feeling and the feeling of, I don't have enough.
Yeah.
We don't want to be saying that anymore.
And what's interesting is this is a mentorship bonus. We mentorship people. If you like the idea of mentorship, that's what we do. So we're mentoring people, helping people, coaching people. And that's the best part about this. It's not just about business, it's about changing lives. And if you like that idea, that's all part of it. So we tell people all the time, just get started. Pick a pack that works best for you. And you can actually, if you say, I can only do this one, you can always upgrade to do this. They're such a fair company that if you pay this here, they apply it towards the next one. So you already got 3 sleeves, you pay $295. If you basically say, I want to upgrade here, you pay basically the difference, which is $240 difference between the two, and they give you 3 more sleeves to match up for the 6. If you say, I want to get the premium, you bumped up there, you pay the difference in the price and the difference in that. It's the most fair program in the world. And so what we did is we tell people get started and we put on 2 sleeve auto ship. The part with the premium, you don't even have to buy anything for 90 days. That was another thing we loved about it. We're like, wow, that saved us even more because we bought the biggest pack and then we have to buy anything for 90 days. So if you said, I want to start today, you're covered for August, September, October, you don't even buy any product till November. And then you're basically making money all the way, and so it becomes very possible to actually help a lot of people. So how this works, real quick, did you want to explain this?
Yes, so we did talk to you about thisisatinfo.com, which is a website that was put together by Steve and Gina Merritt. We didn't put any money towards this, but we get to utilize these tools, which is such a blessing. This is the site. We did tell you that you can get all the information that you want off of that site. So we share it with doctors and we share it with the stay-at-home mom who's taking care of her children, because there's information on there for everybody. Nobody purchases from that. Then thisisateam.com is the website that we utilize for our business to get ahead. How do we get ahead? Oh, I like this idea of making a little bit more money because I need to do some things. So what is on that website? It's like your school, okay? Onboarding, how to go manager, how you get paid. And the tutorials are so explicit, so well explained, and in bite sizes. So you can take a few minutes every day and just go and look at thisisateam.com and you're taken through the A to Z of how to build this business.
I was just double checking. They've got the new video uploaded on the website now. So new video they just did. It's a 3-minute video. So when you go to this info, I think it's the second video down. So they got the one kind of explain life way. The second one basically is a video down. You watch that video. Watch the second video down. That is amazing. I'm so glad they got it loaded on there ready because you're going to be blown away by the information on this. So again, this strategy we talked about, again, is to build basically 2 strong legs on the left, on the right. Steve and Gina told us, hey, build 20 personals right, 20 personals left. We've done that. We've done a lot more than that. So we can't stop talking to people. And the people that are on the Zoom, we can't stop talking. They can't stop talking to people either. So the thing is, allow us to talk to people on your behalf and things start really moving forward. And we told people all the time, say, I had one guy, a very successful business owner, he goes, how much time does it really take? I said, how much of your time you want to take? I recommend talking to at least 5 people a day. Every day, and allow us to talk to them and see how things can move forward. So there's Zoom launches. There's even one tonight at 8 o'clock, another one 10 o'clock in the United States here, Eastern time at 8 o'clock, another one they're doing 10 o'clock Eastern for people that are maybe on the West Coast. That might be 7 o'clock their time. They do different ones in the UK, different ones for Sydney. Wednesday again at 8 o'clock is great for people here from South Africa and Europe. They basically Friday at 12 p.m. is 6 o'clock your time there. That's once again the 30-minute Brief with Belief meeting. They do a Spanish meetings. And the biggest thing, you want to talk about the team training real quick?
So a Saturday team training is really important, the nuts and bolts. And you want a strong business, you're going to make sure you get on that Saturday team training. Now, a lot of people in the US don't get on these calls because it's their lunchtime, but people are building big teams. So make sure you get every single one on this. You don't want to become a broken telephone because you want everybody to hear the same thing that you're hearing. And that's how you build a strong, duplicatable business that gives you back your time.
Yes.
People don't want to tie into something where it's going to take time away from family because they're already working a job. Like, why would they do something? But here, there is the system, And the system is these Zooms.
Yes.
You know, you can leverage these Zooms while you're busy, you know, taking your family out because it's a birthday dinner. You can have your friend tie in on a Zoom and then call them up and say, what did you like about that? But you don't always have to be the voice. And that is the brilliance of the system that we have.
Yes, and they're all recorded. So we send recordings to people. So one couple that, as it becomes extremely successful, they just keep on just sending out the recordings from the meeting. So, and specifically geared towards that. So you can actually go to the YouTube channel. This is a team on youtube.com, and literally go look at the different videos that are on there and they share the different ones. But again, talk to the person who talked to you about this, and they basically can make some recommendations. So we just that are going on, and we talked about that. But the big thing, last thing I'm sharing, and that's it, is that really, are you serious about your dreams? Are you serious about accomplishing your goals? Would you like it if we could help you become financially independent? If you're already financially independent, would you like to have another income stream? We got a lot of people that are very successful in business, but they're not stupid. They're smart. They see a technology like this. They find out about a product like this. They go, I want to be a part of this. This is bigger than Bitcoin. It's bigger than buying Walmart in the 1980s. Seriously, if you understand where we're going to billions and billions of dollars. And from a company standpoint, our team is going to be 1 million strong this year. So when you understand the amount of people that are asking, now we're not just talking about us, this is the team that we're a part of. So once again, there is hope for your future. We tell people we're hope dealers, not dope dealers. So we say, get started today. Tell the person, yes, I want to get this pack, whatever pack's right for you and your household at this time. Get that. I always tell people, if you can get the biggest one, get it. If you can't, that's fine. We'll get you started any way we can. But the last thing I'll leave you with is that they always look at these pictures here. I love this. A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? They talk about that. The video is worth 1,000 pictures. So when I went to South Africa, I basically started looking at pictures of South Africa. And wow, I looked at videos like, whoa, but how many people know an experience is with 1,000 videos, right? I want you to experience this product. The best way to check this out is get a 30-day money-back guarantee. Put the product on every single day, research, take a look at the site, take a look at the case studies, take a look at everything else, and you'll be blown away, because when you experience this product, it's a whole nother thing. So again, we're so glad that we could share with you today about this technology. And again, thank you so much for the testimonials, for all the people that shared today. We really, really, really appreciate it. The biggest part to this is that we want to help as many people as possible.
And just get back with the person that invited you. So if you have any questions, get back with them so that they can answer those for you. And if they feel the need to introduce you to us because maybe they need some additional help, they will have our numbers. But
we're here.
We appreciate every single one of you for taking the time out to come and listen to this. And do know that every Monday at the same time, we do this opportunity meeting, not just so that you can hear this 100 times, but so that you can invite your friends to come and see the presentation. And that will help you to get ahead in this opportunity.
Yeah, so lastly, there's a lot of uncertainties in life. There's a lot of uncertainty that things are going there. Even jobs are uncertain today. But one thing we know for certain is this is it. So God bless you guys. Have an awesome night, awesome day, and we'll talk to you.